G'day guys, what we've got here is the floating dip tube out of my pressure fermenter, my home brew setup. Basically it's a cage at the end of the tube with a float that basically keeps the tube submerged under the liquid as you transfer between the fermenter and a keg. Problem I'm having is I'm noticing that the cage, it isn't weighted, so it has a tendency to float up along with the float itself and not stay below the level of the liquid. So what I've decided to do, I've been rummaging around in the scrap pile and I've come across this this piece of 3/16 stainless. It's basically a bit of old sailing boat rigging. She's hollow. So basically what I want to try and do is basically cut a 25mm piece out of the straight section of it, which will basically slide down over the tube right at the edge of the cage there, and hopefully provide us just with that little bit of weight to keep that cage submerged under the liquid. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll cut probably as close to 25mm out of one of the straight parts of this this stainless tube. We'll try and get as close as we can to 25mm, and then we'll face it off in the lathe. Alright, I've got you in as close as I can get. I'm sort of a bit stuck for room here, but I'll try and give you the best view I can. What we'll do is we'll use the file and we'll take that burr off the end of that, and then we'll turn it down. We'll just face the end, so we've got a nice square edge to measure and to work off. Alright, that looks pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll flip it around, and then we'll measure and mark out 25mm, and then we'll face it down to that. So we'll I've got the tool I'm using to face it off. What we'll do is we'll just much like cleaning up the other end, we'll go down to our mark, and hopefully we'll land on 25mm. Let's give it a go. Oh, it looks pretty close to me. Get the ruler out and we'll have a bit of a measure. Move our carriage back. Still got a bit of a burr on it. I'll just give it one more. No, I think we're right on. What I'll do is I'll use the file. Just take that burr off the outside. Alright, that looks pretty good. We've got our 10mm drill bit mounted up in the tailstock chuck. So she's all ready to go. Basically what we're going to do is just use it like a reamer. I'm just going to come in and just clean up that outer edge of the of our tube, and then run it straight through, and that should hopefully clean up any imperfections on the inside. So we'll give that a go. Just using the hand wheel on the tailstock. That's all the way through. Alright, looks like there's still a little bit of a burr there, we might run it through again. Alright, yeah, we've still got a little bit of a burr there. Now what we need to do is come up with a way of, I guess, without a reamer, making up something to clean up that inside, get all the corrosion or any nasties that might be inside it. It is going to be used in a food grade application, so ideally I want to get that as clean as possible. So I might just grab a file and deburr it if I can. Just use the edge of the file to deburr that, take the worst of it off, and then we'll come back and work out a way to clean out the inside. Okay, so I've found myself an old bit of dowel. Just cut a slit in it and put some little bit of wet and dry, I think it's 800 grit, in the slit. Basically what we'll try and do is basically feed that into there. Obviously the wet and dry will be tight inside it. Mount this in our chuck, mount this into our tailstock, and basically use this back and forth to ream and clean out the inside there. It's awfully hard to see this angle. But yeah, I'll get that set up and we'll give it a go. Alright, got that. Got a bit of wet and dry in there. So essentially we use that to try and ream that out. But rather than stand here and do it by hand, we've got a lathe, so we'll use that. So we'll go and get that set up in there. Also got a hole in the end there for a screw, so I figure we can use this as a bit of a mandrel to hold while we clean and polish the outside. So let's get that set up. This will be our last run with our emery. I've run it through a couple more times off camera just to save you having to endure that. should be our finish pass now. Very smooth in there now. That's a good sound. Oh, you can see it on the paper we're getting. Alright, let's have a look at that. Yeah, focus is a problem with this camera. That's looking a lot better. I'll clean it up and I'll give you a better look over on the bench. Hopefully you can see that. That's a good shine we've got on the inside of our stainless tube. It's cleaned up really nicely. Just ran a little bit of the green Scotch-Brite through the middle. Just held a little piece in the end of it. And that's a good shine. So we'll try and set up our mandrel now and get the outside looking as good as the inside, and I think we're nearly done. That's great. Alright, we've swapped it all around, we've set up on our mandrel. That's firm. It's not super tight, but it's firm. Should be enough. So we'll spin it up and we'll run a bit of wet and dry on the outside. Move it around a bit, try and use as much of the paper as we can, rather than just concentrating in one spot. That's polishing up nicely. That really is. A little bit on the edges there to just break any hard ends of where we faced. That's really sliding off here. That's really coming up. Wow. Alright, let's have a look at that. Well, that's come up pretty good. Still a few blemishes in the surface itself, but I'll run that wet and dry over that a little bit more, and I'll bring you back once we're done. But I think that's working out well. Alright guys, there we have it. Polished up nicely. Give it a run over with the green Scotch-Brite at the end there, just to finish it off. Obviously did that off camera. So let's get it fitted up to our dip tube and see how she looks. Okay. There's our finished product. So yeah, with a bit of luck, that should be weighty enough to serve the purpose. 3/16 stainless steel, so once it's been cleaned with brewery cleaner and properly sanitised with some star sand, that should be fine, and that gives the tube a nice weight. not too much, but it's, yeah, that should definitely keep us below the fluid level. So we're sucking beer, not CO2 like we have been. So all in all, call that a success. Thanks for coming along.